guys, I hope you are all having a wonderful day and welcome back to How Real Can You Get, our realistic drawing course with an incorporation of abstract and surrealism. So last class we left off with gesture drawing and continuous contour drawing. In this class, I want to get you guys into more expressive artwork and more abstract artwork. So we're going to be learning about op art and creating different optical illusions. Now, op art is a form of abstract art that gives the illusion of movement by the precise use of pattern and color, or in which conflicting patterns emerge and overlap. If you have the time, I really encourage you guys to look up Bridget Riley and Victor Vasarely because these two are known as one of the most famous exponents of creating optical illusion art and anamorphic art. In this lesson, it's not going to be too long. We're just going to create some different organic patterns and shapes and, utilize our shading that we learned in our first lesson. And we're going to create our own unique illusions. And in our next lesson, we'll learn how to structure it properly to the point where we can get the exact effect that we want to get. But in this lesson, I'm just going to give you guys some quick demonstrations of optical art and what we will be creating going forward in the future. So let's get started. So I'm starting off creating a small dot in the middle of my paper. Now this dot will help me to execute my point of the line direction that I want to go and which pattern I want to create. Everything will come back to this line in the middle. I really encourage you to create a center point line as it helps you to bring back all your lines to the same point. So the lines are not, one line isn't too much longer than the other and it's not balanced out correctly. This helps you to be able to find your level of balance. So I really do encourage you to create and find your center point for your design of optical illusion. So I'm going to start, and what I'm going to do is just something very organic. So I'm going to create my lines, again starting from my center point. So as you see, I have created my lines and I'm starting off with pencil first, and then I'm going to go over it with a either micron pen or a Sharpie marker. But for the first building up of the lines, I'm going to use my pencil just in case I do mess up and I have to erase. I'm going to begin creating my lines within these shapes that I have created to begin to build up my illusion. So just as we learned in our first lesson with shading, you always shade in the direction that the object is shaped. So if you had something round and you wanted to make it look 3D, you would not shade it going down. You would shade it in the direction of that roundness to make it really pop out. So with this as well, the lines that we create, we are going to create it in the direction that our shapes are going. And then as we shade it, we're going to shade in that same direction. Does that make sense? Let me know if that does not make sense or if it does make sense to you. Okay, so as you see, I have drawn my lines within my shapes. So now I'm going to go over it with a Sharpie pen. I have successfully drawn my lines. Well, kind of successfully. I did mess up right here. My hand was a little unsteady and I tried to fix that up. And now I'm going to erase my pencil lines that I can see underneath and on my paper from my a Sharpie marker, which is why it's good to do it in pencil first and then go over it with marker. You might find that the form can be a little bit better than what you initially have drawn it as. So then you don't have to worry about, oh, you did it in marker the first go around and you can't fix it. Well, you did it with pencil for your sketch design and you went over it with marker, so now you can erase those initial pencil marks. The supplies that I'm going to use for our next step, which will be the shading, is my graphite pencil, my blending stump. If you do not have a blending stump, you can use a piece of tissue or a paper towel, or you can use a Q-tip as well. I use Q-tip. You can also use your finger if you do not have that to spare. I'm going to use my charcoal pencil stick, and I'm going to start off by using a lighter lead pencil, which will be my 2H pencil or a 2B pencil. You can use regular pencil. Again, if you do not have any art pencils, you can use regular pencil as well. Even if you do not have any graphite or charcoal, you can utilize your regular pencil and just keep going over the parts that need the darkest shading with your pencil to get off the illusion effect that you want. So while I begin shading, I'm going to shade along these parts here, so along the outer parts of each shape, and then I'm going to work my way in. And again, the way that I shade in the direction that the shape is going. So remember to utilize that technique as well, otherwise you might not get off the effect that you want to make it really look like it's popping out. So I'm going to start now with my shading, and I'm going to come in with a lighter pencil first, which will be my 2H art pencil. And you might find that you do have to rotate your paper as you're shading, since you created your designs in different ways. I'm utilizing the shading technique that I taught to you in lesson 1, which is shading with the use of small lines. I believe that that will be a little bit more easier for you to find that direction, since you are utilizing lines and you're going in the direction of your shape, rather than just creating what you think is a shadow effect. Utilizing the lines might be a little bit more realistic for you in this sense. Now, as I normally do to end each class, I would like to propose another challenge to you guys. So in this challenge, I would like for you to utilize the different art styles that we have learned thus far and create one surreal art piece with it. So I want you guys to be as creative and expressive with this as possible, and challenge yourselves to take your craft to the, absolute extreme. Whatever comes to mind, I want you to put down onto your paper and utilize everything that we have learned thus far. So what I mean by that is we just learned our optical illusion art. So here I have drawn a basic design of what I want my optical illusion to look like without drawing, the lines in between. As of right now, I'm going to incorporate that with gesture drawing and continuous contour drawing. So if I wanted to continuous contour draw something, I don't know, like a flower. I'm not really looking at a flower right now, so I'm gonna go based off the top of my head. So I want to add flowers into each shape. I'm going to utilize what I know so far, and I'm going to here draw a rose. Then say I want to draw another rose in another shape. And I come to the other shape and I do just that. Here you see that I have drawn, utilizing the continuous contour method, a bunch of different roses in my different shapes. So next, what we have learned is gesture drawing. Now your gesture drawing does not have to be by utilizing the quick and messy lines. You can try to draw it as neat as possible if you do not want it to interrupt the exact look that you are trying to go for in particular. So for me, I would rather draw it very neat, just because that is my own art style. So I like to draw things that are very clean and neat when I'm drawing them graphically. So I'm thinking, what do I want to incorporate within this by utilizing the gesture drawing method that will speak for itself about who I am as an artist and just an overall person. I'm thinking that I want to incorporate some fruits into this, so maybe some apples or cherries or bananas, grapes, because I absolutely love fruits and vegetables. It makes up about 90% of my overall diet. So I'm actually going to, for this gesture drawing, I'm going to look up a reference photo of some fruits. So here I found this image of some grapes on a vine, and I'm just going to pick somewhere on here where I can gesture draw that out. So here you see I've done my gesture drawing of a a bunch of grapes on a vine. And I did it under, I think I did it probably under about a minute or so, or at least a minute. You can take, again, gesture drawings can take up to, you know, 30 seconds to 5 minutes. Whatever you are creating, it might take you some more time because you are still thinking about exactly where you want to place things, what you want to incorporate within it, and that is completely fine. I want you to be as expressive, again, as you possibly can be with this. There is no right or wrong way to do it. There is no theme in particular that I want you to follow. This theme is my own. The only thing that I would like for you to do is to utilize the 3 methods and art styles that we have learned so far, and also utilize shading too. That will come into play. That is very important to this. But if you do not want to shade and you want to kind of leave it as a flat image, then that is perfectly fine as well, just as long as you are incorporating these different methods, and it is helping you to better understand what we have learned. It's getting you to practice it more, getting you more comfortable with it and used to it. But again, I really want you to enjoy this. When you have free time, sit down, play some music, and really just let your creativity flow within this. And if you want to do more than one, that is completely awesome. I will probably be doing more than one as well because I really like the way that this style is going so far. And I know once I incorporate, you know, shading and other different elements that I want to personally add into this, it'll look, you know, even more better. Please, when you're creating this, be as expressive as possible, be as creative as possible, and also keep it in a safe space. Keep track of it, don't lose it, because I would like to see it when we go over it in our live stream. And also it may possibly even be able to be shown in our virtual art exhibition. So make sure you keep track of it, guys. Everything that you are creating, no matter your own personal feelings towards how it may look, other people may perceive it differently and they may absolutely love it. So again, definitely keep track of that. Be very creative and expressive, and I can't wait to see what you guys create. Good luck with the challenge, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.